If you face any difficulties, please look for the school counselor.
Children struggling with mental health challenges is about 500,000.
Parents teaching your children, we have to make sure that the parents understands first what is mental health and how far it is important. Okay, as a parent, it's supposed to be something that in their parenting system. Okay, they have to integrate this in their parenting system. It's no longer like I'm going to discipline my child, I'm going to talk about other parts. You have to come up to a stage as much as we are teaching them the safety touch and all that, safe touch and all that.
Yeah.
So these have to be come together as well at the very young age to encourage them to. It's okay to speak up. It's okay to show us what is your emotion is about. Sometimes we do have this gender bias at home too, when boys cannot cry. Be a man. I don't understand that term. It's like human being, everyone is experiencing an emotion, so do not stop any child from expressing their emotion. The moment you say that word, it already stopped the child from expressing. So as a parent, what you can do is you have to understand what is mental illness and what can go wrong if this part is not taken care. Okay, because in the long term, this will be affected. So as a parenting team, they can come up like probably in a week, okay, any Sundays, lunch together or dinner together, talk about what is the struggle that they are going through. Be more open about, you start from yourself first. Tell them what you went through, what kind of emotion you went through, how you tackle it. So your children will start to learn, oh, it's normal to talk about emotions. It's normal to talk about problems. Means I can voice out. Parents nowadays, they choose to I cannot tell my kids what's my problem. Family, they try to maintain, there's a distance growing. So we have to close that gap so that everyone in the family is open to talk and explore their emotion in a safer place. Home need to be a safe place for them to be themselves, where else they can. When they can't that's when they are reaching out to other places. If it's a good place, then it's okay, but what if they ended up in the wrong hand, especially for schools, all right? For schools, it's same. We are talking about how can school move forward. We already have counselors in schools. We do have school counselors, and actually we didn't cover this in the first question. Counselors are in many settings. We have in government setting, we have in hospital, we have in private practices, we have in university.
So with government schools you have it?
Government school, we do have school counselors, but sometimes their job description can be, is overlapping with other work. Sometimes they become the, what do you call that, guru disciplines and all the discipline teachers and all that. So it's like contradicting with what they are doing.
Stop crying. I'm like,
yes, but they are doing the best that they could, but still it need to be improvised in certain areas where students need to be like, I'm free to see the counselor. Because nowadays in our level in university, some students, they come and say, I didn't go to my school counselor because they're always with the discipline teacher or some other things that they're doing, so they don't understand in the basic level. So when they come to us, we need to still break that stigma. So the stigma is like, it's like ongoing for all levels, right? Regardless of age.
It's a systemic issue, isn't it? If a kid needs help, let's just say in the school, and then he goes and sees the school counselor, or she goes to see the school counselor, everybody else, the kids will start talking, will tell their parents, and then the parents will start talking amongst each other, and then the kid is going to be ostracized in many ways.
We do hear cases like that too, when the teacher passes the message to another teacher and the news gets spread. But I can't generalize this because I'm not from school background, but we know there are school counselors who are really doing a wonderful job in taking care of the mental health of the kids. But teachers plays an important role. When we talk about school, it's not about counselor alone. Sometimes they only have 1 or 2 counselors for the entire school. It's too much on their plate, correct? So teachers plays an important role when they reach out, or to the management level. You need to maintain the private and confidential. That's all about counseling. It's a private and confidential. Whatever you discuss with me, it will be treated as private, which means you give that safe place. If I'm going to expose what you're going to tell me, they're already going to shut off. So we have to start from there. Which school, all levels, they play their part.
Systemically though, it's going to be hard to change because it's a mindset thing. Yes, the school counselors are there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well has it worked? I mean, having school counselors from maybe my time, 20, 30 years ago when I was in school, right? To now, I'm pretty sure things have gotten better. But you want things to get a lot better? So where are we right now? Are we at a 4 or 5 on the scale?
Oh, that I can't do the scaling.
It's very difficult.
That is a very subjective thing but they are already doing a lot of things from the groundworks. We are seeing the progress, from the counseling field. There's a lot of things coming up. It's not about counselors doing the job. It's about the system itself.
The system,
So when the system get adjusted, it's more acceptable nowadays, I would say. And parents can actually suggest to their child as well, if you face any difficulties, please look for the school counselor. or for those working adults, okay, please check if your, like what Mian have mentioned, if your corporate level, your organization is supporting mental health, feel free to go and look for the help. All right, any levels, counsellors are available everywhere.
I want to give you a statistic because I was going through some notes as preparing
Yes, I
for
love
today's
numbers.
forum. Actually, our National Health Morbidity Survey 2019, which is last year, the numbers for the children struggling with mental health challenges is about 500,000. So is depression. 2.3% of our population is struggling with depression.
Is it mainly
Another
urban?
500,000.
Is it mainly urban though?
No, they have the breakdown right from the urban, male, female, rural, urban, and different categories.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I was glancing through last night. The numbers are rising compared to 2016, the National Health Morbidity Survey. It has climbed up so high. Yeah. But again, it's catching up.
Yeah.
Whether the school has done enough or not. But what I'm going to say is that I'm going to give you guys a statistic. So at all levels, parents, teachers, or even back to what you say, if our strawberry generation is more sensitive, maybe it's good.
Yeah.
They are teaching
Maybe,
us.
maybe
the
it
adults.
should be that way.
Yeah.
Maybe we've been having too thick a skin.
Yeah,
in
their
many ways,
sensitivity
right? Yeah.
will highlight to us that they need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think this area is a very complicated area, isn't it? I mean, we are not taught how to become a parent. There's no a Bible or guide.
no
and
guide,
things.
there's no
Exactly,
manual,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm a father to a 2-year-old daughter. I sometimes find difficulties as well how to navigate. I mean, with my work, daughter, work-life balance and things like that. So there are a lot of parenting courses nowadays outside there. I think to be a very good resource for people to look for and learn about parenting techniques and things like that. And again, for children and adolescents, behavior is a symptom of underlying cause.
Right.
If they show a behavior, you might want to see why it is like that.